developing and adopting these new technologies, putting them into products, bringing them to market that consumers actually want to buy. And I think there's huge challenges that they face, and the challenges are varied.
Yeah.
I think you've seen quite a bit in your client work those challenges up front. What do you think are the three main challenges that your clients are facing in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. I think going back to your original point, Ben, well, one of your original points, Ben, was the need for the innovation. So I think the telecoms example is a really good example as to what could go wrong if people stagnate and aren't actually embracing these challenges head on. What we're seeing, I think, is as a result of this need basically to innovate, there's a few interesting issues and angles which occur. One of them, you said, is, again, this need to adopt, this need to, everybody knows what the end goal looks like. And what I find really interesting about the electric vehicle market is that we all know that we want electrification, we all want electric vehicles. How do we get there? I mean, at the moment we're seeing there's two kind of main splits in the market, which is battery tech, which has its own advantages, and then there's hydrogen as well on there. So there's a really interesting kind of dichotomy within the market of people saying, which direction do we need to go to? We all need to go to the same end goal, but there's no clear roadmap at the moment as to where it goes. Another thing which I found really interesting, having spoken to people about this, is what we're seeing is an impact in terms of how companies, automotive companies, have been working, in particular with the supply chain and also new entrants into the market as well. So where we think about, if we just take the example of an electric vehicle, there's a large amount of value of that vehicle is actually within the battery itself. I can't remember, it's 5-10%, something along those lines.
It's 40. 40%, yeah. 40% of the value of the vehicle is in the battery pack and the associated architecture. Wow. So it's when you're looking at the tariffs and the rules of origin, particularly in Europe, between Europe and UK, aside from the logistics costs of transporting heavy battery packs from Asia or elsewhere, it's also, from a trade point of view, highly beneficial to try and build this European battery manufacturing capabilities so that automotive manufacturers in Europe can reduce that reliance on shipping battery packs in. And it's been said that whoever leads on battery manufacture will also lead on vehicle manufacture as well, because of the logistics cost associated with the battery.
Yeah.
There's a tendency to want to site your vehicle assembly close to where the battery packs are. And at the moment, that's very much up in the air.
Yeah.
We've seen various countries who have introduced state aid packages. The EU has introduced a raft of investments into the battery industry to try and build this European battery industry from a very, very small start. So there's been all across Eastern Europe, Sweden, in the UK, in Wales, as you said. And at the moment, it's very much up in the air which countries are going to be the ones that dominate in battery manufacture. And it's not just batteries, it's all the other parts of the electrified powertrain that the battery feeds the energy to. And while that's up in the air, it's meant that the traditional German-centric model of the European automotive industry it's not been turned on its head, but it's certainly undergoing a huge transformation at the moment.